Chat, we need to talk about Miraidon. Very few Pokemon have dominated the competitive scene like the electric bike has. I just want to give you a little rundown of what this video is going to be, a little table of contents, if you will, just because I haven't really done a video like this, I think, ever. First, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Miraidon as a Pokemon, and then a little bit about Miraidon's dominance in VGC Regulation G. However, I do mostly want to talk about how dominant Miraidon has been in VGC Regulation I, and why. The why is very important, and why Miraidon has been so dominant in competitive Pokemon, especially in Regulation I. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Throughout the Scarlet and Violet era, it is clear Miraidon is a force to be reckoned with. Miraidon has a unique two-pronged ability, Hydron Engine. This ability not only setting electric terrain, but also boosts Miraidon's special attack when in electric terrain. Additionally, there is still even one more damage modifier. The power of electric moves are boosted in electric terrain, meaning Miraidon's damage output is increased even further if using their signature move, Electro Drift, or the electric pivot move, Volt Switch. While there are plenty of electric moves Miraidon can use, both Electro Drift and Volt Switch deserve a special shout. Electro Drift is a 100 base power or BP move with no recoil or stat drops for Miraidon. Electro Drift is a special move, but it does make physical contact, so Miraidon will take damage from Spiky Shield or Rocky Helmet. That is just a fun little fact I wanted to point out. Next, we hit him with that Volt Switch. This move is a pivoting move, and is one of the reasons Miraidon absolutely took over competitive Pokemon. Board position and being able to control that aspect of the game is imperative in competitive Pokemon. Being able to get massive damage while also repositioning is such a powerful tool. Meaning, if Miraidon isn't in a great position, you can pivot out, still getting damage, potentially breaking a Focus Sash or Sturdy, or even putting Pokemon in KO range from one of Miraidon's teammates, and then bringing in one of your back Pokemon to reposition and regain board control. I do want to note that we did see Volt Switch pick up a ding-ding one-hit KO during the World Championship Finals. Miraidon boasts such power that a weaker pivoting move can pick up integral KOs. A strategic reposition could mean bringing in an Intimidate Pokemon to weaken your opponent's damage output. This could also mean resetting your Miraidon's terrain for later, ultimately putting you in a position to win the game. Now that we've talked a little bit about Miraidon as a Pokemon, I want to talk a little bit about what prompted me to make this video, and that is Miraidon's absolute dominance in VGC Regulation I. Our electric bike's journey to the top did begin in Regulation G, and Regulation G allowed for a single restricted legend on each team. Miraidon took the first regional, and it appeared that maybe the meta was sleeping on the electric bike, but that first regional was a wake-up call for everyone. At Indianapolis Regional, Miraidon was only 6.56% of Day 2 restricted usage, while Caloric's Ice Rider boasted a massive 32.7% as the most used in Day 2, and Caloric's Shadow Rider sitting comfortably at 16.39% as the second most used restricted in Day 2. Rajan Ball was able to win that regional in stunning fashion with a choice specs sandwich devouring electric bike. Hey Pip, do we have a clip? Oh, we do. Okay, roll the clip.
Discharge,
Is it discharge?
Is it discharge?
It's discharge! Oh my goodness, Rajan's Whimsicott might be the key that keeps him from winning this battle. The thing is that when discharge hits multiple targets, it is weaker. It should KO both Pokemon this turn, but the problem is that Rajan's own Whimsicott is reducing the damage of his discharge.
Yes, will the Terrapagos be able to survive? I think so.
It could be the difference maker. We saw how much Volt Switch did with no terrain.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Oh man, Rajan could still win with a double protect, but if he just let Whimsicott go down there, he would have been in an amazing position. Andrew, it all comes down to if he can KO both Pokemon this turn. Rajan's thinking about it.
He gets it!
Oh my god, Miraidon has the speed advantage. How much is Discharge gonna do? Electric Rain boosted, Hadron Engine boosted, Terra Electric boosted, Choice Specs boosted, Discharge. Is it enough damage? It is!
It didn't even need the double protect, but Miraidon claims its first championship in Regulation G. Rajan Ball, he's made it to top 8, he's made it to top 4, he's made it to the finals, and now he has claimed his first regional championship victory here in Indianapolis.
There were so many restricted Pokemon on the players' radars going into this. Calyrex, Terrapagos, Kyogre, Groudon, Corydon, Zamazenta, Zacian, none of them matter! The only Pokemon that matters is the fastest bike in the West, Miraidon!
Indianapolis was far from Miraidon's peak. Just a few months later, Miraidon would win the World Championships, further proving its power at the height of the competitive Pokemon scene. And as mentioned earlier, Regulation G was far from the end of Miraidon's reign, jumping forward to Regulation I, allowing each team to utilize 2 restricted legends. People thought some of the slightly less used restricted legends would get to shine. And while this is true, we did see Ho-Oh, for example, getting multiple Day 2s and a top 8, this regulation did make Miraidon even stronger. The first Regulation I regional was held in Milwaukee, and Miraidon not only won that regional, but took 7 out of 8 of the top spots. Legitimately, when I saw that, I was like, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this Pokemon right frickin' now. Having a second legendary means you are able to deal with Miraidon's weaknesses even better. The winning team used the restricted duo of Lunala and Miraidon, using Lunala as a way to protect Miraidon with Wide Guard, but also give the team a threatening Trick Room mode, being able to sweep through teams that would try to outpace the Miraidon. Just a week later, Miraidon won another regional. And this synergy is shown perfectly by the Utrecht winning team utilizing, yes, you guessed it, Miraidon, but also Calyrex Ice Rider. The Calyrex Ice matches perfectly with the electric bike because what does Miraidon not want to deal with? Ground types, and Rillaboom, which sets terrain and resists Miraidon's big electric type moves. Well, not just Rillaboom, but bulky grass type Pokemon that can resist the electric moves. Cali Ice matches up perfectly into these counters. Additionally, Cali Ice doesn't like to deal with big, bulky water types a lot of the time, but Miraidon eats those water types for breakfast and asks for seconds. Let's say you are able to force your opponent to utilize their Terra into a ground or grass type to resist Miraidon's big electric moves. You are able to bring in your Calyrex Ice Rider and absolutely glacial lance them into next week. Truly perfect synergy and a perfect pair. Regulation I was able to make Miraidon even stronger by giving it Regulation I made Miraidon even stronger by giving it powerful partners that are able to counter Miraidon's counters. There has to be a better way to say that, but you know what I mean. However, I do want to say the Sandwich Guzzling Bike is far from undefeatable. There was a pretty massive meta shift for the last North American regional of the season. The regional in Portland, Oregon saw but a single Miraidon in top 8. Meta shifts, ebbs, and flows is one of the reasons I love competitive Pokemon. Players are always looking to adapt and looking to be on the cutting edge of the next meta trend. Restricted formats absolutely reward those trainers who are willing to push the boundaries of team building and are able to find the perfect meta call. However, speaking of meta shifts, you'll never guess what won the North American International Championships. Miraidon has done it again. The same team that won Milwaukee won NAIC. The restricted duo of Miraidon and Lunala won the last major tournament before the World Championships, once again showing the power of that restricted pairing. With the massive amount of tools in Miraidon's saddlebag, will this Pokemon be able to pull off a Worlds repeat? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I worked very hard on this video. I wrote a script for this video, y'all. I was out there typing up my little script. I think the last scripted video I did was maybe, no, not 7. Let's say 7. Let's say 7 years ago, I did a what if these Game of Thrones characters were Pokemon trainers. I had a great fun with that video. I had a ton of fun with this video. So any love over here really would go a long way. If you did enjoy this video at any time, please feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. And that's going to be it for me. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!